Hey guys, how are we doing today? I hope everyone is well and I hope we're having a beautiful day so far. So, I want to talk about something really cool today. It's something I've talked about before. I think in one of my most earliest Instagram videos, I talked about this. I just want to bring it back, right? Because I feel like it's a really important message. And it has to do with consciousness and spirituality. And the topic is parenting your inner child, or protecting your emotions. But before I get into it, I would like to call upon the Holy Spirit to use me as a conduit to deliver the right message to the right ears, and also to give me the right words with which to deliver my message as clearly and as concisely as possible. So that being said, let's just jump straight into it. I came to this realization that, I came to this personal realization. So I'm not in any way, stating this to be facts. It's just, an intuitive understanding that I came to develop. That, there may be facts to back this up, but I don't want to state them as facts because, it's not based on research. It's not largely based on research anyway. But it's things that I've understood based on the things that I've learned. So there are three, ethereal parts of self. By ethereal, I mean parts of self that, we can't see. The metaphysical aspects of self, which are the mind, the soul, and the spirit. So I came to this realization that the spirit is basically representing the Father as God, and the soul is representing the child. And then the mind is the link between these two. The soul has the free will to choose whatever direction it will go in life, while the mind is the part of self that transmits information from the physical parts of self, or from the physical environment to the ethereal parts of self, or the ethereal environment. So the mind and the soul, they work together, while the spirit is constant. So we've established that the soul is the inner child of the child. So you know how fragile and highly impressionable the mind of a child is, in the sense that when a child is growing up, the child is very keen on learning and experiencing new things. So those experiences that the child, has growing up basically ends up forming, a major part of the child's psychology, and inadvertently it also forms personality or develops the personality of a child. So if a child is raised in a negative psychological environment, in an environment where the child has traumatic experiences that impact the child's psychology negatively, the child tends to have a negative outlook towards life. The child usually develops like a more of a reclusive personality. Whereas if a child is raised in a positive psychological, or mental or emotional environment, and the child is raised to know positive feelings, positive emotions, and happiness and all of that, the child tends to have or develop a positive outlook towards life. The child is usually very outgoing in the society and all of that. So that's the same way our inner child, which is our soul in this context, is. And our emotions are the senses of our soul. Just like we have senses that transmit information to the brain, right? So whatever emotions are being fed to the soul, that's what the soul absorbs, and the soul craves more of those emotions. You understand? So if you allow yourself, or if we allow ourselves to be in environments psychologically or physically that impact our emotions negatively, or that transmit negative emotions to our soul, our soul absorbs that and tends to crave more of those negative emotions, regardless of whether we desire those emotions, like physically or not. Our soul can't differentiate. So whatever information we feed to the soul, that's what the soul craves more of, and invariably that's what the soul attracts. So if we also allow ourselves to experience positive situations, or we allow ourselves to be in positive psychological, physical, emotional, or mental environments, we are basically training the soul to accept and to crave and to attract those positive emotions. So that's why the topic of this is parenting your inner child, because we are responsible for training our emotions or our souls to only accept the type of emotions and the type of feelings and the type of experiences that we want to have. So we are not responsible for the things that happen to us, but we are responsible for how we respond to those things. So if negative things happen to us and we allow our souls to absorb those negative emotions that result from those negative things, we tend to create more of that, or we attract more of that. But if negative things happen to us and we train our souls not to accept those things, but only train our souls to look towards positive situations, then our soul learns what we do not want and what we want. I don't know if anybody understands what I mean here, but basically that's what it is. We are responsible for raising ourselves emotionally. We're responsible for training our emotions. We're responsible for parenting our inner child. So regardless of whatever age we are at, on an astral level, a soul level, we're still children. We're always learning. We're always experiencing. And whatever we condition ourselves, to absorb, that's what we tend to create or attract more of. So I didn't want to make this too long. I just wanted to deliver a quick message, and hopefully it gets to the right ears and then it's useful to whoever hears them. So until next time, I'm wishing everyone a blessed day and a very peaceful time on earth, and a very productive time on earth also.